Vitality looking to bounce back after getting reverse swept by Mouse Sports earlier today. Barcelona are their next opponent, and you heard him on the desk, James. Bluey, a big proponent this season of this Barcelona offense. It's something that we knew he was capable of doing, and he's done it so far this season, but will it be enough against Renault?
You know, that's the question. The best time to play him is after that loss. They're already reeling from that reverse sweep from Mouse. The defense from Vitality was struggling, and I agree with Gibbs. Bluey really has stepped up this season. Some incredible shots from him. But, you know, Barcelona, they've had a rough season. They've gotten so close to getting wins and just failed. Even last series versus Dignitas, losing those 2 overtime games, they scored in the final seconds to tie them up, to send it into overtime, and couldn't manage to finish it out. So close, but not close enough has kind of been the theme for this Barcelona squad.
Kind of feel like they're just consistently on the cusp, but can't quite get over the hill. We're underway here in game number 1. It's been Barcelona on offense. Bluey knocked away by Fairy Peak. Kaydop trying to take this away. It'll be Scrubkilla heading down the pitch. Bluey, a nice catch and release. Back the other side of the field. He's by midfield. Scrubkilla will take it away. Oh, and everyone getting tied up on Barcelona. Scrubkilla's going to take this one to beat. Bluey lets it fly.
And he gets the boost steal. Smart play.
Oh my, Fairy Peak. I thought he was going to end up getting that ball over everybody, but it's Scrubkilla back to Kaydop around the corner. Kaydop plays it straight down. Here, the shot never comes for Fairy Peak. Scrubkilla playing it close, and it's a bouncer to commit for Barcelona. Bluey looking for a shot, and it's in! Bluey off the wheel!
The difference maker, and you saw the double commit. Ronaky and Deevo both hitting it up. Bluey makes the most of the play, that light touch to get it by the challenging defender. Bluey truly stepping up, trying to fill those shoes that Alpha left.
And he really has. What better way than for Barcelona? And then, of course, the other guy, the guy that they just added this season, Ronaky, he picks up a goal.
And he passes to himself just so quickly after kickoff, and that one even nicking the crossbar. Barcelona coming out swinging.
And that's exactly what this Barcelona team is capable of. Just an outpouring of offense, seemingly out of nowhere. Ronaky, had he had a little bit more boost, that may have been on target. Bluey pass over to Deevo. Bluey following this up off the back wall. He got it for free, and Bluey hits the same exact spot. Barcelona.
And they just keep piling it on. Kaydop, you see him actually letting his teammate go for that instead. I think that was Scrubkilla who was coming across. And Kaydop perhaps not having enough boost to challenge, but Bluey, don't give him more opportunities because he will put them away. He has been deadly.
Around the corner, Barcelona. 3 goals inside 2 minutes of gameplay. What a way to start game 1. Fairy Peak getting chipped by Ronaky. It gives him a chance at the ball, but it'll be Kaydop's. Pass to Fairy Peak. Cross the pitch, wanted Scrubkilla. He does catch over one. Scrub against the back wall, taken away by Bluey. Doing what he can. Vitality finally finding themselves a little bit of offense because it's been nothing but Barcelona. Fairy Peak catches that, gives Kaydop the ball in the corner, but it's Deevo's. Ronaky, the demo downfield, gets the flip, reset, no. Just couldn't get under it enough.
Didn't have enough force, didn't line it up. But it was the right idea, and you can see how confident that Barcelona is. This Vitality team now heating up, but Deevo, that read there, denying the backboard bounce. Barcelona just looking polished.
And Deevo is that player on this team where, you heard the Chiefs talk about it earlier today. Deevo was that player, if you heard his name, it's like, oh man, they have Deevo, that other team has no chance. And he's the player we're talking about the least on Barcelona.
Because Bluey just been stepping up.
Oh, flip by Scrubkilla. Still has possession off the back wall. Fairy Peak closing the gap. Kaydop has a look and it's blocked by Deevo, but the shot by Scrub just above the crossbar. Ronaky will take it away. Vitality starting to wake up on the offensive end. Can't find the ball on target. Kick downfield. Kaydop has to come back for this. Bluey just missing that touch, and Kaydop has to respect it. Here's Deevo. Deevo into the net. Barcelona blazing.
And you know, he's already got a Playmaker award, which not many in Europe even have. Now, getting this double tap. Deevo has been sick, hitting a double tap earlier in the previous series today, and now to just bury Vitality in game one. Deevo, everyone really having moments for Barcelona where you can really tell how mechanically skilled these guys are.
It has been fun to watch in game one. Vitality, no offense at all. A couple of shots and a chance or two, but other than that, nada. Barcelona have shown us at times this season real greatness, and sometimes can't put it together, sometimes their own worst enemies. But as far as game one is concerned, they're the best team on the pitch.
I mean, 4-0 against Vitality, the defending world champs, who are coming off a reverse sweep. You can't discount that. That is already going to put you in a bad mindset. And Barcelona immediately making those highlight reel shots.
And real fun to watch. And for Vitality, in the back half of their series against Mouse, something that started to happen when they started giving Mouse more space and they weren't able to cut things off. Did they get a goal here? No, it's denied by Bluey. But they started letting rebounds come off the back wall and the backboard. And it was too many of them. Too many free rebounds. And they've even given up rebounds here. Bluey scored off of a rebound off the back wall. Deevo, I mean, the Deevo shot was just beautiful by Deevo.
Oh, and the insult to injury here.
Why not?
Choosing to keep that ball up.
Game over in game one, and it wasn't even close. Deevo, Bluey, Ronaky, pick your poison. Doesn't matter, this team is rolling.
They certainly were, and Deevo, 100% goal participation, getting that Playmaker award, getting that double tap. Bluey getting involved. Ronaky, that self-pass with the perfect shot. The striking from Barcelona has just been next level.
And for Vitality, what is not clicking for this team right now? The last 4 games that they've played today they haven't been clicking. And this is a team that everybody was saying before we came into week 3, it's Vitality and then everybody else. Vitality and Reciprocity, but we saw Reciprocity drop a series earlier today. We saw Vitality get reverse swept, and now Barcelona absolutely clapped them in game 1.
It has just been an offensive powerhouse performance from them, at least in game 1. Coming into today, Bluey was the only player in Europe with a Playmaker award. Deevo getting involved. So you can see how even though Bluey has been the main offense for Barcelona, Ronaky and Deevo are 2 players that, like you said, you can't discount them. You can't let them slip off your radar because those guys can make crazy shots, make crazy plays, and Deevo, he's a world champion for a reason.
Absolutely. Ronaky continues to impress me how he's improved over just this season, fitting into this new roster. And I think he's the perfect case to look at for somebody who played well on a previous team. He was the striker on Triple Trouble, and then he goes to a new roster and has a real feeling out period. Barcelona did not look good coming into the season.
They need this one, Jorby. It has been a rough season for Barcelona. A win here can turn it all around.
They're the only team with 1 win. Every other team has at least 2. Barcelona, they need 2 more victories. Inconsistencies have plagued them as much as they've plagued other teams. That one comes off the back wall, but Kaydop cannot punish. Scrub getting pumped out of the way by Bluey, and then Bluey makes Fairy Peak miss, flipping into that ball, hitting with the back end of the Octane. Deevo almost had that read.
And it's not only, the losses, but how they've lost. Game 5's getting reverse swept, just getting so close and then failing. It feels like, it reminds you of the Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Previously, where they just continue to go to game 5, but can't find that little extra bit to get the wins when it really matters. And that grinds on them.
And especially when you get to that second win. It's when you get to that second win that you really start thinking, okay, don't lose. Because if you can't secure it in game 3, then you start thinking reverse sweep again. But we are in game 2. Have to wait to see how it plays out for Barcelona. Ronaky off the ceiling takes it away from Vitality. Vitality just slower to these balls, and good boost steals as well from Barcelona. The corner's not available. The other one just spawned for Vitality, and they're forced to just play this tight rotation because the shots keep coming. They just can't rotate out. They can't get a solid clear. They finally, Scrub gets a look in midfield, and he did win the challenge, but Bluey took the other player out that was going to follow it up. Oh, and he wanted to pass to Ronaky, but it's not there. Barcelona.
Counterattack opportunity if Kaydop could just get there quickly, but Deevo cutting that ball off at the midfield. Vitality was in position, had the numbers. There was the demo that came through, but just the denial at midfield.
Ronaky slowing down Vitality's counterattack, and then he just wins the ball cleanly in the corner. Forces Vitality to start again. Scrub and Kaydop sitting on low boost, but they get a solid clear to pick up some pieces. Fairy Peak didn't find the challenge. Kaydop is there, but the backboard unavailable for Vitality.
And Vitality struggling to keep possession. You see them being forced to make these saves, a double commit as well. And when they're getting the ball out of the zone, they're just getting those long clears. They haven't been able to develop any plays, really. They're just getting the ball out so they can get boost and try to get their head above water. Barcelona controlling the tempo of the match.
They're so good. Bluey, the pass to Deevo in traffic. He finds his man. He finds the goal. Barcelona, 5 straight goals in this series.
And it just seemed like a matter of time. The first touch control from Bluey, getting the ball to Deevo in the middle. A textbook infield passing play. And Vitality, they're looking for answers right now to this Barcelona offense that has prevented Vitality from starting anything.
Every touch, that pass, that shot is off the crossbar, and the few chances they have had have been exactly like that. They've looked exactly like that. Accuracy hasn't been there. They've had to force. Bluey has an open net. Barcelona, 6 unanswered goals in this series.
Great speed from Bluey, and you see the defender just flying by, and then the little touch by the last defender leaves the net open, and a long shot. Bluey dismantling Vitality.
Like you said, James, Vitality, every time they try to get something going, they're just denied. Even on the cheat there, Scrub has to wait. It's a good touch from Fairy Peak back to Kaydop. Off the back wall, Scrub, does he have it? He doesn't need it. Kaydop off the crossbar and in. And finally, Vitality find a goal.
And Ronaky was low on boost. He was slow to the challenge. And you see Bluey, I couldn't tell if he got bumped, but he was out of position after the center ball. Ronaky needed to get there quicker, needed that boost, but unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. And so quickly after kickoff, Vitality with the response. We saw game 1 get out of hand. Fortunately for Vitality, they stabilized, but still trailing by 1.
This is where Barcelona need to be careful. Too many times this season, they've got caught moving too far up. The third man having to jump back and play acrobatic defense and putting their team in a poor spot. They have to make sure the back end is clear. They can't let that ball get behind them. With a minute left, Vitality seem to finally start to put together some consistent pressure here on the offensive end. Scrubkilla carrying it across. Kaydop is on the opposite side. Off the ceiling, blocked by Deevo. This is what Deevo was doing a little bit last week too. Winning a ton of challenges. And then it fell apart when he started losing challenges. And it was a product of what was happening in those reverse sweeps and dropping games they should have been winning. But he's still playing well on those challenges and able to move up the pitch. Ronaky couldn't receive the pass. Vitality, their offensive pressure's gone. They're trying to regain possession. Ronaky takes this from the corner, has a shot on net, and it's saved by Kaydop. It was more dangerous than it looked. Oh, and the miss. Fairy Peak in position to kick it over to Kaydop.
And this is a quality counterattack chance.
Oh, what a touch by Deevo. It just killed everything.
A huge clear just kills all the momentum on the counter.
You saw all of them turn around at the same time, like, oh, none of us are going to get that ball. Time expires. Barcelona, if they can kill this ball right here for Bluey. Deevo lets it fall to the ground. And now Barcelona are 1 away from sweeping Vitality out of this series.
And Bluey has just been lights out. That pass to Deevo in the middle to start off the game, and then baiting in that final defender to get the long-range goal. Bluey is the reason why Barcelona is experiencing so much success against Vitality.
Yeah, Gibbs has to be feeling great. Like, I'm going to talk about Bluey because Bluey's playing well, and he's going to keep playing well, and that's where he beat the entire defense. It was the touch right before you saw it on screen that had the entire Vitality offense beat right there in the corner. Actually, it's just missed, and then that touch getting it by that defender. And I mean, you know, Vitality were in desperation mode at that point. They were trying to get something going. They had not put in a goal yet in the series before that goal got scored.
Yeah, where's the Scrubkilla from last season? The Scrubkilla that I voted for MVP. Coming off the ceiling, making solo plays where he's just scoring by himself. We're seeing Vitality just get suppressed because of Barcelona's speed and just ruthlessness of attacking the ball and continuing to keep Vitality in their own half. It's something we saw the Knights do against, you know, Cloud9.
Yeah.
You keep them back, keep them down, keep them in their own net, force them to use their boost to make the defensive plays. And once they get stuck in that cycle, you just keep them there.
And it really seems like a lot of teams are starting to shift to that sort of play because that's what's beating these teams that really favor passes. But when you have no space to do anything, you don't see those carries from Scrub down the pitch. You don't see him hit those 6 ceiling passes that we know he's capable of. And you're talking about a world championship team, the champions, the defending world champions, and they're getting just bopped around
by a team that's 1-3. You know, it's
Europe's crazy. We thought we had it all figured out after week 2. We're fools, all of us.
It's hard. Europe and North America this season have not been playing out like we have expected.
And that makes it all the more exciting. Bluey will take this for Barcelona as we're underway here in game number 3. That shot caught by Kaydop on the ground, but picked up again by Deevo. There's just nothing in midfield.
He's been great, shutting down the chances for Vitality when they try to get out. Many times it is Deevo that's just killing the play, and you see it here. We'll see if he gets a big clear. He has in the past. This time, Fairy Peak's able to stop it out.
Oh, good follow from Scrub. Fairy just no boost and had to try to at least throw his car at it. That's the other thing that's killed them on a lot of these possessions is the boost game. It's like, yeah, great, they're on offense, but oh no, we're out of boost, we gotta leave. And then they can't make a challenge, or they make a poor touch, and it gets cleared away. And even there, I mean, that wasn't a bad chance there for Vitality trying to bang it off the back wall. But Ronaky just makes a solid touch, and he puts another one away. Here's Kaydop downfield, tries to set up Fairy Peak for this. Fairy Peak actually flips it over off the back wall. Bluey says, well, we take those. Deevo downfield, Barcelona handle business in the blue. Scrubkilla, quick counterattack. Can't get back to the ball. Fairy Peak's there. Shot high off the backboard. And Bluey has the clear. Deevo midair will follow it through. And Fairy Peak barely gets that touch.
Fairy Peak was on empty and he was flipping back. Barely made it in time. So the long range goal just inches away from coming to fruition.
Deevo again. Another touch over Kaydop off the backboard. Taken away by Scrubkilla. Vitality have played defense for what feels like an eternity in this series. Pass over to Deevo. Deevo plays it slow, baits one up, but Scrub able to take the fish away. Bluey has one beat. He has no boost left. He needs help. Oh, it's an own goal. No! Vitality! Their own worst enemy on this. They let this go in.
They're petrified of Bluey. Fairy Peak thinking that perhaps Bluey has enough boost to go for the double tap. And so he tries to make the play out of the fear of the Bluey double tap and hits it in his own net. That is the type of fear that Bluey can put into your heart. It makes you score on yourself.
Forced own goal. Just from being too good. Ronaky catches this. Fairy Peak coming back, bumps him out of the way. Vitality may be down by 1, but this series so far belongs solely to Barcelona, even blocked right there.
And Ronaky again denying the chance. And Deevo with the save here. Barcelona continue to find those small touches to deny the shots, especially Ronaky at the origin, preventing anyone from even having to make the save, getting in the way before the shot's a challenge.
Kaydop, he has to punt this away to the corner. And he's blocked by Deevo again. Every single challenge goes the way of Barcelona. Even when Vitality were on that sequence before they had to play some defense, they weren't even winning challenges in front of the box. Bluey had wave dash in front of one and took the ball away, and Deevo just flipped in front of one and didn't let Kaydop have any fun. And that's what Barcelona have done. It's the no fun zone in the blue zone. Maybe Fairy Peak finds a little bit of fun, but no, Ronaky says enough of that.
And again, it's Ronaky getting there just before that Vitality player. They're just a step ahead every time. Barcelona not giving any space.
Probably the cleanest series we've seen out of Barcelona so far. Kaydop over to Scrub and just missing Scrub on the connection. Bluey will carry it away and flip it over Fairy Peak, but Kaydop is there on the save. Still already up for his Ronaky, and stellar positioning here from Barcelona. That one off the corner. It's going to be Bluey on the rotation. Fairy Peak's out of boost, so he can't challenge. Bluey past to Deevo, and Bluey blocks the shot. The best defender for Vitality.
We'll see if Barcelona can hold on. They've struggled closing things out. They've been reverse swept by before. This game is not over yet. We'll see if they can actually do it this time. Close it out, get the upset over Vitality.
Oh, Bluey! Oh, it's blocked by Kaydop! And then Scrub comes in to follow, denying Ronaky a shot. Picked off, and he scores! Deevo! Barcelona!
And that has to be it. Deevo cutting in front of Fairy. A hospital ball that Deevo punishes him for. And Barcelona 19 seconds away from the sweep over the defending world champions.
It takes a goal with time left for Vitality to even have a chance. Coming into week 2, they were undisputedly the best team in Europe. At the end of week 3, the doors, the gates are wide open in Europe. The shot denied. Another one in the crossbar, and it goes in for Fairy Peak. Somehow Vitality have a little bit of life.
And I've seen a 2-second goal before, but it is tough to do. We're going to have to see some kick-off excellence.
Your car is more likely
Vitality
to be struck by lightning.
We'll see if they have any strats.
Fairy Peak. Deevo's already up. Scrub keeps this around the corner. He needs a solid carry here. He gets what he can, carries it around. Ronaky actually maybe helps the attack, and Bluey keeps it off the ramp. He tried to kill the ball. Fairy Peak, chance? No, Deevo's there. Kaydop waiting for this touch, and it's killed. Barcelona sweep Vitality. They recover at the end of week 3. Europe is a hodgepodge of insanity. Wow.
All hail King Bluey. What a series from him.
And, you know, Deevo and Ronaky, his wonderful and
honor
faithful
guard, right?
nobles.
Yes.
You know, his advisors.
Honor. Let's go with honor.
Honor guard, you
yeah,
like?
I like
All
that
right,
one.
that's fine.
Advisors, whatever you want to call them.
I'll call them advisors. They were dishing out passes all day.
That gameplay from Barcelona was frightening. And for Vitality, they just didn't have a response. I've never seen Vitality so timid and so scared. And
They
we
look
even
clueless.
saw the own goal from Fairy Peak when Bluey was threatening that double tap. Bluey was everywhere. And he was everywhere and nowhere. And he was the fear that surrounds you.
I want to shout out Ronaky. Is, you know, coming into this season, Ronaky just wasn't putting it together, missing a lot of shots. And this time, you know, it wasn't the shots that impressed me. It was the intercepts, the cutoffs, the great clears from his own end, handling the back wall really well. His positioning on offense. I mean, the whole team.
The whole team.
All of them.
Even
this is the Barcelona I wanted to see.
Okay, Jorby, you're right. I need you to settle down here because this desk is expensive, okay?
You're right.
All of this stuff is expensive.
I've already knocked over one audio box. I don't want to knock over
it really
anymore.
was. You can see that Barcelona has what it takes to be a top team in Europe. Even in their losses this season, they've been close. And this time, they came into this series knowing they needed this series, and they delivered.
Barcelona take down Vitality. Leaf, Lawler, Gibbs, Corelli. It's wide open, guys.
It seems like Classics' passion has embodied itself into Jorby at this point. But wow, what a victory for FC Barcelona, taking down, again, your Season 7 world champions in a 3-0 sweep.
This is wild. Rocket League on October 14th. They added the upside down, and that's what's happening now throughout the whole East right now. North America and Europe, all of RLCS. It's just wild. This was a great win for Barcelona. We said they absolutely needed it. They were 1-3. Last season, Vitality perfectly swept them. They come in and just smack Vitality in the face. Only 2 goals for Vitality. 1 at the end. Probably didn't even matter. Huge performance from Barcelona.
And they were just completely dismantled on the Vitality end. We talked about what they need to do. They need to go back to keeping possession in the final third, control in the game. No control at all from Vitality. The 2 goals speaks for itself, but really give credit to Barcelona. Ronaky, Bluey, Deevo, all 3 of them getting involved on the defensive side of things to slow down Vitality and stay in their face. And that's really when a team wants to control the game, you have to stay in front of their face, and that's exactly what Barcelona did here against Vitality.
Yeah, for me, it was a great job of them denying Vitality from even creating offense. Plenty of times that the pressure started to go on their half. It was either a booming clear to the other side to relieve that pressure, or the boost control. Primarily, Barcelona used to be the team that used the most boost compared to anybody, and I was curious to see how that would develop with Ronaky, and with how much he's been staying up and how much he's been applying pressure. Now that those shots, almost every single one being on target, you saw the own goal it created. Bluey just floating there with no boost. Peak's like, well, if I don't go for it, another shot's going to come in. So he has to go up. He has to make a play. And you end up seeing what happens. He puts it into his own net.
And that's the threat of Bluey. Bluey's been playing out of his mind, but Deevo, when he's on the offensive side, he can make magic happen. And I just want to see him continue that. He has to stay on the offense. Defense been a little bit shaky today when they played Dignitas, but when he's on the offense with Bluey, it's been beautiful.
We talked about the reason they were losing were the intercepts, before against Mouse and now again against FCB. People seem to have figured out Renault Vitality. Is this a problem for them going forward? Or do you think they're going to be able to adjust into the next few weeks? Corelli, I don't know if you have a solution for them. You can give a little tip or a pointer.
I'm not going to give anyone any tips. I'm going to leave that to Gregan for him to figure out for Vitality. But obviously, there's some things they need to go back to the drawing board. I think that getting reverse swept kind of knocked them off the block here today. That's a rough one, especially against Mouse. So for Vitality, this was a rough day. I think that they could probably shake it up and move forward because, look, they're a great team. And the first 2 weeks were fantastic for everyone on Vitality. This was a bad day. And this is a day that I think they can learn a lot from. And I'm excited to see actually next week how they bounce back.
And it's so wild because we had half the field played 2 games today. Everyone went 1-1 except for Vitality went 0-2. It is completely wide open right now for Europe. And it's exactly the same with North America. It's going to be wild these last 2 weeks.
Should we look back? Dare we? Dare we look back at today and see what happened? Sure. This was absolute madness. I mean, let's reminisce on what happened today. We saw Reciprocity drop games. We saw Renault Vitality now drop games. What besides those, were there any bigger surprises for you, Lawler?
I mean, the TSM complexity one I think was a toss-up. I mentioned that even Greasy said, it's a 50-50. We'll see what happens. Probably the Mouse one I think was the biggest. I think we all came into this week thinking, okay, Reciprocity and Vitality can solidify themselves as those top 2.
That wasn't a surprise at all.
Be quiet. So, I mean, you're finding Mouse now in 3rd, Vitality's in 4th, Veloce's in 2nd. Like, there's a lot of things happening here. I mean, maybe that's the big one. The first match of the day, Veloce beating Reciprocity.
Sure.
I mean, it was every single match was just like, yeah, sure. Flip. What would you call it? A coin toss?
Something like that.
Today.
Yeah. What are these standings?
I know. We were supposed to have 2 4-0s going into next week. Vitality and, of course, Reciprocity. But look at these standings and how close it is. Barcelona's in 7th, and they have 2 wins. They're 2-3. They lost 2 reverse sweeps as well. They could have easily been 4-1 right now. It's anyone's game. The only team that you have to feel terrible for, of course, is Complexity. 0-4, they kind of dug their own grave, but the problem is also everyone's beating each other. It's going to be very difficult for them to catch up to anyone. They have to win out at this point, so it's going to be rough.
Those 2-2 teams, I'm excited to see what happens, especially Dignitas. I felt like today they had some good and some bad, so I'm excited to see where the 2-2 teams go for Europe because, again, with it being so wide open, either they're going to end up at the bottom or there's going to be some floating up at the top, and it's not what we expected, and that's always fun.
One final order of business, and it is to find out our player of the day presented by Intel, and that is Speed, the man that helped the reverse sweep.
So I got the ultimate stat for you. He had 5 goals and 5 assists in the last 3 games, so he was involved in 10 goals. No other team in a series scored 10 goals except for Veloce, and that was back in Series 1. That took him 5 games to do it. So Speed by himself, 10 goals in 3 games. Phenomenal performance from him. Maybe he was shaky for games 1 and 2, but he really stepped it up 3, 4, and 5.
Sure, he was shaky in games 1 and 2, but games 3, 4, and 5 were the ones that really mattered for this Mouse team. And it wasn't just the goals, it wasn't just the assists. He was a wizard moving down the field. He was doing that thing that Speed does where he gets on the ball and just goes by everyone into the corner, and then it's like, hey, I set you guys up. Where are you guys at? His team's trying to catch up with him because he moves so quick. And that was something that we've always talked about with Speed, that he's so good. We saw it here during game 3 and onward. He's so good at just being the first man, making space for himself so that he can set up the rest of his team.
It adds a comfort level, it looks like, to Mouse. The ability to let him lead the charge. You start to see the whole team slowly start to move up. Kuster gets in position. He can now put those finishes away, which a lot talked about. This is why it was so important. If Kuster finishes it, we're unbeatable. That is a quote from a lot.
Speaking of, I actually also talked to him. We're all sliding into DMs. I talked to him. He said this is the most comfortable he's been on a team, and I think it's showing for all those guys. The fact that you can have, and the banter is going on too.
100%.
Like I think it's absolutely starting to show now in week 3.
High-powered offense from them when everyone else in Europe is very slow games, very low scoring. Mousesport's putting up numbers. It's just clean up that defense a little bit more. They could easily be number 1.
Well, it's the end of the day. We've had a crazy weekend. I just want to get some final thoughts from you guys. Corelli, start us off. What do we see, or what are you thinking looking forward?
It was a great day in Europe, a lot of fun to watch, but there are some things coming up in the Rocket League esports world that you should be excited about. If you don't know, myself, Jorby, and the Chiefs host the show Collegiate Rocket League. We have our LAN coming up November 9th at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. You can buy your tickets right now, rlesports.gg/CRL. If you want to buy those tickets. It's a ton of fun. The Esports Stadium is super, super cool. We've been there once before.
Yeah, I've seen it.
If you're in the area, you should definitely come out. It was a wild crowd last time, so buy your tickets.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Gibbs, you look distraught.
I think Giblet's predictions are probably better than mine at this sport, and that is the greatest thing right now. North America and Europe completely wide open. No one knows who's going to win in any of these series. We got 2 weeks left. 2 weeks to determine who gets those auto bids for the World Championship. No one wants to go into the playoffs right now as a 3rd seed because literally anyone can beat anyone right now. It's going to be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, piggybacking off that, I mean, you're talking complexity. Even though they're 0-4, they technically have to win out moving forward. I mean, they've got Mouse, Reciprocity, and FCB. Both teams all look really dominant, but they've also been on the other side of the coin. So, I mean, it's not over yet for them. Hopefully they, bring it towards the tail end and we get some really exciting stuff. And to piggyback with Corelli as well, more Rocket League. We got South America still going on today, too.
And more Rocket League to come in the future, too. So why don't we take a look at the schedule presented by Axe and take a look at week 4 of Europe's Rocket League play. Honestly, I think all of these matches are something to look forward to. Of course, Renault Vitality Reciprocity is supposed to be a big one. That's where we expect them to drop a match because someone has to lose, but they've already done that. So I don't know what to expect anymore. It's going to be nuts. Anyways, get online before you guys go to bed tonight. Get your tickets to LAN. We are going to Madrid, Spain. Palacio Vista Alegre, December 13th to 15th. That's tickets.rlesports.gg. I better see you there. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week. I'm Leaf signing off. Take her easy.
They both try to play the hero ball and nearly get the shot anyways. Here's Flame for the final touch, and he puts it in. What a takeaway. 1v2 Astral will get it. No, it's off the woodwork. Violet Banda will finish this one.
Pass off the ceiling, and Ronaky will not have much of an angle. Just kidding. Here's Repko. Back post shot. It goes in for TSM. Looks for the back wall. It goes across. Gupter's there, and Mao's a late go-ahead goal. Deevo's up first over the top of 2. Can he double tap it in? Oh, Deevo! He'll come back to RLCS, and he's got the game tied up. Mao's in. Here's Scrub now. Drops it off for Kaydop. Beautiful shot. It comes back to Scrub. He puts it in himself.
Can he find Violet Panda? It's straight back to him. The goal is on target. Violet Panda is a monster.
On the side wall, it shows that hits it right on the corner of his Fennec. That happened so fast. Good touch from Astro. Back to Violet Panda. Shot is good. Denied. Farrah's already there. It's a like, oh, Shaw said he got a piece of it, but no, Farrah got the goal. It came out of nowhere. Following this up off the back wall, he got it for free, and Bluey hits the same exact spot. Respected. Here's Deevo. Deevo into the net. Barcelona